It's only married people who cheat. And your Bible makes you understand that if a man marries a woman, the woman's slave, if the woman permits, the man can take her into his bed. I'm sure you know that, right? It's on this background that Sarah offered Hagar to Abraham. It's on this background. And I don't want us to make this more like a Bible conversation. But fast forward, Ella, you see, I always say that you have to understand where one man, one wife came from. And I can tell you on authority that the basis of one man, one wife is Roman law. Roman law. Ella, I repeat, Roman law. It is never Jewish law. It is never Ghanaian cultural law. It is not even in itself European law. It was Roman law. So when the Roman Empire expanded in its territory to an extent where they were practically conquering everywhere except my country, Ghana, because Roman Empire did not have coverage in that zone. That is where the prospects of one man, one wife came in. And, you know, I don't want, probably later we'll have this conversation, but let me come back and say that, you know, when I said that by default, my reference was with the fact that every single creation of God that carried that entity called male, whether it is a tiger, whether it is a cat, whether it is a sheep, whether it's a goat, whether it's a baboon or whatever, all of these entities, the male never had 1:1. So now let's come back into why men cheat. And I think we are getting a part of the conversation a bit wrong. It is not about having multiple wives. The concept of men cheating became predominant because men now are seen as, if you take on another wife, you are being seen within the Christian perspective, as in within the Pauline doctrinal perspective, as being someone who is a deviant. And therefore, you have Christian men today who are hiding to cheat instead of taking on more women. Now, here is the thing. Like I said earlier, having more wives does not mean that a man would not still want more. You ask the question, can a man stay with only one wife? The word is can, and immediately you use the word can. Of course it is. It is very possible that a man can stay with only one woman. However, the dynamics of that marriage, and you see, anytime we try to bring in statistics, sometimes it is easier for people to discredit it for various reasons. But trust me, Gideon digressed into an arena of men living longer in the era of having more than one wife and the state of men today. And these are clear realities on the ground. This does not mean that someone is encouraging a man not to stick to one woman. Ella, I hope this point is quite clear. The fact that we are explaining why men cheat does not mean that someone is legitimizing or encouraging someone to go and cheat. I am only telling you why men are cheating. Men are cheating more today because if the fact that the wife, one woman, and Ella, if you want me to go into a little bit of more details, I will go. Number one, you have statistics showing that in marriages, couples are having less sex when they get married than when they were in their sexual dating period. This is statistically proven that you have couples that before they got married, they were having more sex than when they got married. Statistics also has shown that in terms of marriage, the older the marriage gets, the less sexual the marriage becomes. And Ella, don't forget, one major way by which men release their stress, release their pressure, get themselves to reset, get themselves to come back to square one, to be able to put 1 and 2 together, is sex. You understand? So if you have a man who is about 45 years, going to about 45 years, whose wife's libido is so down and the wife cannot satisfy him sexually, And society is now making it a case that this man cannot go in for another legitimate wife, because if he does, he is breaking a Pauline principle. This man will definitely find his way out. And that is why you are having the side chick syndrome. This does not mean that in the days of our fathers or our great-grandfathers, side chick spirit was not in existence. But the case is that it is more prevalent today. You have more side chicks today. You have more proud side chicks today than it was in our grandfather's time. And you have more stressed women, stressed married women today than in our grandfather's time. And that is also another conversation that we could go on later on. But Ella, in the end, let me make this final comment and let me go. You made a comment about making it known to the woman that I would take on another woman when I make money.
Yeah, Eben mentioned that.
You see, there is this popular statement that one of my uncles used to make. He says, life is stressful. Women make it interesting. Life is easy. Women make it complicated. In the midst of their complication, the fact that they make it interesting, we love them. So in itself, what it should also tell you is that when a man has capacity to take care of things, they expand their coverage. When a man has capacity to take care of things, they expand their coverage. And the coverage includes a woman. And this is a legitimate reason. Of course, unless you want to enter into the Bible. But even in the Bible, when Solomon had enough, what did he do? I need the chorus from the church.
Now, the question I want to ask is that what exactly do men need from women?
Should I answer this question for you?
Yes, you can answer.
Fantastic.
And is it possible to find it in one woman too?
Of course. Sometimes this conversation has to go back to the street. And sometimes people attach too much emotions. I'll be blunt on this one. Ella, I can tell you that a lot of men who are marrying today is because they have reached the stage where they are being told, you have to give birth. That is why they are marrying. Regardless of what the pastors are saying, companionship is not a basic need of a man. It is rather for the woman. It's not for the man. And Ella, I can tell you from street life that men enjoy men company than with a woman. I'll repeat it again.
This boy that's touched me.
Men enjoy men company than with women. If you talk to a lot of guys, they will tell you that at some point in their life, they were struggling even to stay with their girlfriends in the same room for probably even a long time. At some point, it gets boring. They even want to get out and go and do other things. But on the other side, can we find everything in one woman? Yes, because one basic thing a man is looking out for in a woman is sex. And after the sex will bring a child. And that is all. There are other things that come along with it. You know, man is looking for sex. Man is looking for a child. And when he gets these two, the other things attached to it, because Ella, trust me, the life of a man is complicated by the presence of a woman. Woman complicates the life of a man. I know Eben is ready to write it down and rebut, but this is street words. You know, so clearly, when a man says I need peace, when we say, a man says I need peace, what is the man trying to say? Have we investigated what it means that the man says, I need peace, don't stress me? Part of it is that leave me alone. Part of the peace that men are talking about is leave me alone. Let me be in my one corner. So when the man can get his sex and the other things that the woman brings into the life of a man, that we all can list. But the key thing for most of the men who are getting married today, I'm telling you, one sex, two, it be kiddy. The rest, it be tertiary. Thank you for the word so sweet.
Okay, I know Eben Nixon has a lot to say. So let's go to Gideon. Let's go to Gideon. Okay, Gideon is a man of few words. So let's go to Gideon.
I'll make it very snappy. Yeah, I'll make it very snappy. Okay. What do men want? What do women want? To them say one I'll become. Okay, so this is what do men want.
Yes, so what do men want?
Men want food. Men want sex. Physical food, spiritual food. Men want peace of mind. Very, very important. Men want respect, and men, let me say, want offsprings. Of course, due to social-cultural reasons. So these are the main things, but I'll say respect much more than anything. Respect and peace of mind. So where women are so probing, any small thing you find women trying to know the reason why, and because of that, they tend to pester. Like,
Okay.
who is this girl? Who is this girl? I mean, that may not be the main issue, but the lady wants to know. And so there's that information asymmetry. What does the man want from me? I want peace of mind. I don't want to be pestered and to be suspected and all those nitty-gritties. Okay. So we want respect. Respect is very important. So where a woman thinks that, okay, let me say my mind, let me challenge, and the man is quiet, then you are doing something wrong. All right. So what do? I go out. Of course, I want to be free. So I don't want to be entangled with the constant nagging. Okay. So it becomes nagging in our ears. And what is this? And anytime I come home, there is something to make me worry, not to give me peace of mind. I may divert somewhere. Okay. My quest to be free, to have that peace of mind, will let it dissipate somewhere. And when someone gives me that attention, there is that possibility of cheating. Okay. So men really wants to be respected. Men want that peace of mind. I'll make, like I said, I want to snappy, and maybe society expects that at this age, you should have your son. Okay. I had a friend whose wife wasn't, conceiving.
Yeah.
So many, even from the family, from his own family, so many people were like, you're a man, or you're a man, or if the woman is not conceiving, you can go somewhere else and give. But the guy was a church guy, so he stood by the lady. But the lady's guilty, because of her guilty conscience, said, let's call this marriage quits. So yeah, there's this thing that society, this pressure that society puts on you, that okay, you're a man, you should have an offspring of your own. So once a man finds all these in a woman, trust me, that probability to cheat, very, very minimal. Yes.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you. Evan Nixon, what does a man need? What do men need?
Well, my honorables have spoken a lot, and I think this time we're going straight to the script. One, I would say men need validation, or they seek validation. A man knows that he is potent, but then he wants have someone to flow her. But you are good in her acrobatics. Charlie, last night, this thing, he knows it, but then you want, that is in the nature of every leader, every man, right? Now, your family, there's no one barren in the family. You are all fertile, but you want to have your own kids to show to the society, just like my honorable said, because at a particular point, they expect to see that which a man does from you. But then you don't have your own kids. So listen, you get to a particular point, you start having midlife crisis. You will need someone to support you. You get me? So this is part of life. So sometimes as a man, you envisage this earlier on, then you will be able to know that, okay, I need this person to live with. So when it gets to that point and you are not having that support in your midlife crisis, that is one thing that also turn the men outside. So you realize that this new side chick, they begin to know a little bit of how to manage these old men, when to flow them funds. Oh, Burma, make them feel like, hey, you are even, some of them fake orgasm and the rest, because they think, oh, the man is not getting to be this thing. But then probably the wives get to complain at home and then do other things. So that is one. So for me, I say, basically, in addition to what my colleagues have said, validation in terms of being a father, that you are capable to prove to society that you can be a father. Validation in terms of being the man. Even in the society we are, when you become rich, the people begin to point fingers at you and talk about you and flow you. So That is also one. And then finally, the sex thing. With the sex thing, what I would say is that, like my honorable said, as you grow, actually, you wouldn't need more sex, but you need quality sex.
Okay.
You get me? When you begin initially, you just need the pampai, Charlie pampai, 4 rounds, pampai, 5 rounds, and the rest. But as you get to a particular stage, you realize that you need the quality sex. That is the longevity, not that acrobatic sex and the rest. You get me? And sometimes, if the wives don't get to know this thing, you get me? They continue to treat their husbands like they're in their youth. They mostly quickie. But then the man wants to relax, get to have it settled, no rushing, just like these side chicks. You know, these side chicks, when they come, they know what these men like. They know that, hey, this man is not got energy to go conquer. So let me take time with him. Let me make him feel relaxed, take him there, because at the end of the day, hey, he wouldn't even last long. So these are some of the things, the change in rhythm in the relationship as we go on. Because when we began, we were all energetic, we were all getting this thing. And also as a man, even me at this stage, was it last week? No, this Sunday I was telling someone, I don't need to be with my kids one full day. I can't do that. Like my honorable said, there are times I need my peace of mind. You get me? I love my kids, but sometimes I want to be in my small one corner. So if I have a wife who is able to know that, hey, sometimes daddy wants to be able to have a little quietness or do so, okay, either probably take the kids out for a little walk, give daddy 2 hours, a little bit of, so you realize also sometimes men go outside for a little peace of mind, but then they get bumped into with this extracurricular, and then it becomes a little bit of distance. So let me end there. So
if I may add a little to what Eben just ended.
Okay.
Ella, you see, let me take your mind back. If you recall, you would realize that our great grandfathers were never staying in the same room with their wives. The wives only come to their chambers in turns, as and when it's probably your time or he needs you. And there is one feature of this system that we have seriously overlooked. In the life of a man, there are periods where a man wants to black out. Sometimes you will ask sometimes my mom will ask me, how about the internet wanting are you doing them? She does not understand why I am back from work. I'm sitting outside all alone with earpiece in my ear, just blacking out to myself. This is normally the life of a man. And especially for, there are phases of a man that, just like women always trumpet their phases, the phases they go through from adolescence, how we suffer, and when they get married, how we suffer, and then we give birth and our body changes. You see, men go through cycles, and a man by 30 years, if he does not have his things trying to kickstart, is an extremely troubled man. A man about getting close to about 40 years, between 40 and 45, if in his career he is not at a certain level where he is getting close to a managerial level or a self-actualized level, is an extremely troubled man. And by 45 years, they have to struggle with ailing fathers, ailing mothers, their sisters, their nephews, their nieces, their children, their wives, and all other things that these wives are bringing into their lives.
Midlife crisis.
And then it is crazy for men. And so it is very crucial that at some point, most of the reasons why some of these men go outside, just like Eben was saying, it is a way of trying to black out, but it is such that the woman at home does not understand, does not even realize the state of the man that she is with. And that small lady in that one corner only offers him an opportunity to give him a 2-hour masculine level, a level where he would feel like he is probably in his 20s. He is able to black out. But, let me say this and then end so that you can ask your next question. There are 2 things that helps men to black out.
Okay.
Do you realize that a lot of men, no matter how old they are, when they meet up, they behave like children? Have you realized?
When they're playing FIFA and when they're playing football, yeah.
You can find your 60-year-old dad talking with his friend and they are behaving like your 22-year-old brother. So one of the reset periods for men is when they meet each other because they can reason on a particular level. They have similar experiences. The next one is the fact that they can be intimate with someone without being reminded of their limitations, without being reminded of the things they are not able to do, and by feeling that they have capacity to take control. And that is with side chicks. So that gives you another
topic. We'll get to that
gives you another reason.
Yeah, it looks like you've mentioned side chicks multiple times.
Don't worry, we'll move to that topic. We have that topic next, so we'll move to that topic.
So with the cheating thing, basically, it's a decision that I have always said that most of those who are saying that I will not cheat, on most occasions, the consideration is not the woman. The consideration is the supreme being. On most occasions, only few of those men would say, oh, because of my wife. And some of those who say because of my wife, it's because they have not seen or they have not received some experiences. Most of the limitations men are having today, that restricts them from going outside. It is because of the supreme being. If you put the supreme being aside, that woman at home will not be a reason why the man will not find another sex mate.
Punchline.